parents are the driving force behind that. It's very competitive, and the best rise to the top and make it to Kentucky Lake.
I think it's safe to say, Ronnie, everyone's going to be impressed with their fishing skills.
It's a great farm system for the college series, just like college funnels to the opens, opens to the pros. High school is that farm system for the college series.
7 pounds, 2 ounces in front range. Gonna be taking it home.
You know, fishing in high school is what takes you to the next level. And this is where dreams can happen.
All right. Some eggs. That's what's up. No, that dresser wasn't heavy.
What?
That dresser wasn't heavy. These eggs.
Almost fired up times with that water.
You think that, but it's just getting too cold too quick.
Mine, go check factory.
I know my buddy was in there the other day. Not a thing. He stayed in there like all day trying to figure it out. Didn't find anything. When the bugs get out, dude, we had probably one of the biggest mayfly hatches we've ever had. I've never seen so many hatches of willow flies in my life. All right, let's get this dude uncovered. This boat's nasty. It needs some sweet bath time is what it needs. Bad. So I had to wait this morning for the fog to kind of clear up and chill out. And I don't know, we went back an hour last night. So I got an extra hour of sleep last night. I woke up at 5:30 this morning and the sun was already up and it was foggy as heck. So I don't know. I had to wait a while. I wanted to wait until the fog cleared. There wasn't no reason for me to go out, and how bad the fog was. The fog was horrible. So in case you guys are wondering my camera setup, I'm about to show you guys. Right now I got one of my GoPros on my chest, but I don't know if you guys can see that. I've got a GoPro mounted on the dash right up there. So it's it actually works out pretty well. I just put a little adhesive mount right there, and the GoPro mounts right there. And what I do, I got these wires. I got one onboard charger that's already on my boat, and I plug one of the wires up through there. I've also got a external battery right here that I plug up, and I have another adhesive mount that's up here on the console, so you guys get a front view. You also get a rear view, me driving, idling, stuff like that. So it works out pretty perfect. Go catch us a bass. I want to go catch a bass today. I just need some bass in my life. I really do. I need some bass in my life.
No.
Pretty Caroline, stone cold stunner. She was a winner, started working at the diner. Serves you some reminder to count your blessings, 'cause it's telling fair. They'll put you down and leave you there, don't make them scared. Yeah, it's the ugly truth, how they coming for you.
Well, somebody was on the spot that I wanted to check. So I pulled up, and this is something very important to look at. So I'm gonna give you guys a little tip here. One of the things that I like to do is not only look at my graphs, but I also like to look at the bank, and this is what the bank does for me. Example right here, we have a ridge line. This is just a big ridge, I mean just a big old mountain basically. And off the mountain, there's a little cut where water drains through. And what that did is it created a little funnel in the basically in the water, and made a little funnel through there. And now fish set up in it good, and there's fresh water that comes through right there. And that's something very important to look for on the Coosa River is spring-fed creeks. Fish like to get in those in the fall, but this isn't a creek. This is just basically just water that runs off the mountain, and fish set up here real good, especially spotted bass. I seen a few fish here. That's a good group of fish right there. Ooh, that's a good group of fish. Those are set off a little bit deeper there. Yeah, that's got to be bass. We're gonna fish this little drop right here. I see some good fish activity, so. First things first, a lot of people like to start off fast in an area and then work something slow. I'm a little bit opposite. Really, I am. I'm a little bit opposite because I feel like you have a good possibility of spooking fish off, like whenever you start off with something fast. So I like to start with something slow and catch me a couple fish and then throw something fast, because sometimes whenever you throw something fast, those fish, they know what it is and they'll spook off. It's really weird how they do that, but trust me, it's how it works. Oh, I got knocked right there. Holy. Boy right there came up and slammed it. My goodness. Dude, if you guys just seen my rod, I just got slammed. Oh, boy, oh boy. It happens like that. That was my problem yesterday, was I would get bites, but they would hit it real hard and just let it go. They wouldn't touch it after that. They'd hit it real hard, and it's like they weren't even trying to bite it, they just knock it. But that was predominantly on swim baits and the shaky fish right here that I'm throwing. Holy. There's a bunch of big bass that just blew up back there. Got him. First bass. Finally. He ain't big. Whenever I stopped it, I felt him pull and I knew he was there. That's a beautiful spotted bass. I just pulled up to this place, filmed out here with Scott Martin out here one time, and it was during the Bassmaster Open that we were out here. These buddies right here will get you so fast. Don't you open that mouth. These Berkeley Fusion hooks are sharp. Look how chunky that little spot is right there. He is a fat little dude. I don't even know if he'd measure though, but he is a healthy fat bass. You can see he's been feeding on them shad. When I pulled up here, I didn't graph over it. I just pulled up and started throwing this jerk bait. I know Scott Martin fished out here one time. It's full of stumps. Full of stumps. Full of them. I bombed it out there. I mean, bombed it. And I was just jerking it along. And on a pause, I felt it get tight. And that's whenever he had hit it. When I felt that line get tight. After that, he was done for. I had him. I got two hooks in him. I got a real good hook in him. He ate it good. He ate it real good. So, what's my fishing story? I feel like it's really important to get a perspective of everybody's background whenever it comes to fishing and how they got started initially and everything like that. So I'm gonna go into detail. I started fishing whenever I was about 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. I started fishing. You know, I grew up in a trailer in Childersburg for a while, and my grandmother had a pond, and I started fishing out there a little bit, and I caught some bass out there, and after that it was just like I just got hooked. There was some really big bass in that pond, so whenever I caught that first real big fish, it was just like a big adrenaline rush, and after that I just had to have it. Eventually we moved in Fayetteville, Alabama, out here on Lay Lake, and I started fishing the banks whenever I was a young kid. I think I was probably about 7, 8 years old whenever I started fishing these banks truly, and I got to fishing them, and I mean, now I know every stump, rock, brush pile out there on that bank. That's just what got me hooked on it. And fortunately, I had some neighbors that were really into fishing, Seth Butts and Mr. Duncan, which Mr. Duncan now passed away, but I got into fishing with them. And I went out, I fished my first tournament that I ever fished with Seth, and we won with 17 pounds. We caught them all on a swim jig. So that's really what initially got me into bass fishing and what made me want to start fishing, you know, high school and competitively in tournaments. So for it to be my first tournament that I ever fished, it was definitely a big accomplishment to win my first one. And of course it was just a little Tuesday nighter, but I started fishing more Tuesday night derbs, and I started going out and trying to get into high school tournaments, and my parents helped me get a boat. I got a Nitro Z21 as my first boat, and after that, man, I was just hooked. I just couldn't, I don't know. I definitely got hooked on fishing, and I started fishing the Coosa River, and then I started going out and venturing out everywhere in Alabama, but that's how I initially got my start. So I I got my mega bass on. So I'm breaking out my lure retriever. And just like that, I got my mega bass back. That has got to be one of the best lure retrievers I've ever used. Now, I was worried about this at first because of the design, because it doesn't have a string attached to it, but it's built just like a bullet weight, so it goes straight down, it hits your bait, and it knocks it out of whatever it's hung in. So, thank you, Dad, for giving me such a good lure retriever, because it just saved a $25 jerkbait. I wasn't recording, but I just caught that on an A-rig. Look at that. Wow. Oh my God. It has been all day. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no way, that's bad. But that's bad. That's got a giant. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Boom! Boom! Dude, that was like a 3.5. I've got another one. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Boom!